Welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast. My name is Adam Den. Ethan Leviditis is here with me. Michael Kormelos is on an island somewhere kicking his feet up. Carter Watson is watching Austin Reeves highlights. But we are here because the Philadelphia 76ers signed Caleb Love.
Is he like a full?
Yeah, he's on a two-way deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
He,
No.
he was bad for UNC. He pissed me off.
He was okay.
And then he went to Arizona, and then he made the
Yeah.
final. I hate him.
Play some back of the rotation minutes, you know what I'm saying? No, the Philadelphia 76ers signed LeBron James.
That's right.
He is on a 2-year, $8 million deal. My first reaction was to sprint up the stairs and tell my dad, who I think I saw his jaw drop to the floor.
Wow.
And my second reaction was to call you and say, we need to talk about this. So Ethan Leviditis listed as LeBron stances 2014, which I can happily advocate is the truth. There are images of this LeBron stance. What are your thoughts on this shocking move?
It was looking quite bad for about a week. It was like the Miami thing was like a fake page on YouTube. It's like, from our 6 years of doing this, you don't just accidentally publish a video. Like, trust me, we've put out some bad ones, but not by accident.
No.
Cleveland, I mean, they're just in a weird spot. Like, they have it's a good team. But I think the Jaylen Brown move really, like, we were in the conversation before then, and then just adding that really cemented us as he said, a championship level team.
Yeah.
I think we were lacking that playmaking sort of lead ball handler. Like, Maxey obviously can get it done, but LeBron, he's a top 3 passer in the league right now and of all time. Yeah. So that was absolutely something we needed. I don't think I'm like, okay, we're going to win the finals now, but because it's been since 2014 and I've followed the sport, and it's never gone well. But I'm extremely excited. If the few times that I've recorded in my bedroom, there was a LeBron-shaped glare on my wall because I took down a fat head of him. It used to be on my bedroom wall.
Yeah.
So I like, just for the city that I'm in as I'm recording this, it's fantastic to have, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time to come and compete for a championship with a team that I was very excited for after the Jaylen Brown trade.
Yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement. I think the thing that has not been stressed enough, right, is kind of similar to what you just said, but the load that this takes off of Tyrese Maxey, right? And we talked about all offseason, LeBron Filon's the guy who's going to take the load off him because Maxey's played the most minutes in basketball and, having a rookie come in there. But to have, a guy with 24 years of experience as your secondary ball handler instead of a rookie who you have no idea what he's going to look like is just massive for this basketball team. And that's outside of all of the other benefits that LeBron James is going to give you, right? The benefits for the spacing of this team. I mean, I have, dreams of Joel Embiid, post-ups with 40+% three-point shooters surrounding him. And, there are the limitations defensively, but this is still a guy who I think we saw during the postseason can showcase little flashes, little bursts when he wants to, and when he's engaged. So I'm so excited for this team, and what I think they bring is a serious challenge to an Eastern Conference that, I mean, is very good and contains the defending champions, who I think will be very good once again. But I think is certainly one that they could take. I mean, where do you kind of see them in this kind of broader landscape?
I mean, right now, as it stands, like, we got us, you got the Knicks. Boston's still there. Toronto is creeping up there with that addition of Kawhi.
What we'll say.
With full health, I think Indiana can be there. Cleveland somewhat, Detroit somewhat. I didn't like Detroit should have been making a bigger push for something, and that didn't really happen. And the Southeast Division is a train wreck, and so yeah, um, I think we could totally be the top three team. On paper they probably are, but again, I mean LeBron's probably going to miss like 20 games minimum just because he's 41 years old, and Joel, that's just part of the deal. But I think this team is built extremely well for the regular season, and again, you have experience now. Like you have a top five you can trust, and with LeBron, like we talked about, like getting a lot of Maxi. LeBron is not coming in and being like unless like similar to my like no, like with Miami, he would have had a much bigger sort of role than he would have had here,
Yeah.
and that might have not negatively affected, but would have sort of, I think, allowing LeBron to be a playmaker and just be himself in a offense with, I mean, realistically, this entire starting, well, I'd say 4 out of the 5 guys are, if they play 65 games, going to make it all NBA team, or have.
Yeah.
So allowing him to just set up guys and be a great driver and just still improving a 3-point shooter at his age, which is ridiculous. I think that's the best for him at this stage in his career. Like, I know he wants to ride out in the sunset, but he's not going to be able to do that as a second or third option. Like, he's realistically the fourth right now, and I think that's probably what's the best for him and for the Sixers, just because they just needed a guy to play the four who can space the floor and can pass the basketball, and that's exactly what he can do. And he's also he averaged 20 points last year. Like, he's not done in like the scoring aspect, and
No.
defensively, obviously, he's 41 years old. He doesn't have like the motor that he did in 2011, but yeah, and it takes less pressure off of like guys that we added, like Dean Wade and Simons and Phylon, and so
Well, I
just,
think,
yeah, it makes the roster so much more well-rounded in a way that makes the offseason to this point, like we thought we were like good, we were improving, we just made ourselves more of a surefire playoff team with the Brown signing, and now it's like, okay, we're in. Like I'm not really questioning it at all.
yeah, no, I think the Wade signing, especially, and all, like you said, all of the signings this offseason in comparison, but the Wade signing especially is so much clearer now that you add LeBron James to the mix, right? And now you have the ability to almost stagger him, similar to how the Los Angeles Lakers did with Luka and him, in kind of those maxi, non-maxi minutes, right? Where he can lead the bench unit and kind of be the go-to guy with that group. And you can see the same thing happening with Jaylen Brown as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was similar to what they did at times with Boston with him and Tatum. You just have so many guys who can be primary ball handlers and really create their own shot in a way that I don't think any other team in the NBA truly has. I mean, there are 5 guys who can truly create for themselves, and that's going to test defenses in a way that I don't think this league has really seen since those Miami Heat teams. Now you're going to worry on the other end, right? You're going to worry a lot on the other end, because I mean, what we don't talk about enough is that the declining defensive capabilities of Joel Embiid have kind of uh, stifled their ability to really hold up on that end, and LeBron James certainly will not help. But a guy like Wade adds to that flexibility, right? And that's another reason why you would possibly look to balance him with Wade in order to just build out those lineups. But I think the bigger question that kind of surrounds all of this in and of itself is this kind of I guess too much? Is the offensive distribution, knowing it's James, knowing it's Jaylen Brown who had the ball in his hands so much a year ago, is it going to fit in a way that's smooth and clean over 6 months in comparison to some other rosters that have more time to figure themselves out or have been together for multiple years like the New York Knicks. I think that's the biggest question on
Yeah,
offense.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we're having two brand new starters who are going to play at least 30 minutes a night, probably 35 plus for Jaylen Brown, and yeah, it's a serious thing. Like we don't like it. It sometimes can be just like sports, like sort of old school. Like, well, they gotta get acclimated. Like sometimes you can just dominate, but like I would like that to happen, but also that's just not a fact of the current state of basketball. So
Yeah.
when you have two brand new guys who are as high level as they are, it will obviously take some time, and I think that might, yeah, that could stifle them earlier in the season, but and would put them behind a team like the Knicks, who are so excellent in terms of chemistry. But yeah, I'm sort of thinking in the sort of long term with this, to be honest, just because it is such like a sweeping off season that we thought we were going to be in like perpetual like 5 to 8 seed for the next 5-ish years, and now we added the greatest player of all time and a guy who just made the All NBA second team. Like, I would like to see a full 82 to really feel comfortable because like this doesn't feel real. But also, yeah, the distribution thing is interesting because like I don't know how much rebuilding you do on 2K, but like when you get a really, really, really good team and you have like a starting lineup full of 90s, they'll all average like 15 to 18 points.
Yeah.
But you'll win a lot of games. And I feel like it'll be a little bit different than that. It'll be like you'll probably max average 25, and then like VJ 15, Jaylen Brown 20, 25, LeBron 15 to 20, Joel 20. But it probably won't translate to like immediate, like, I don't think we're going to be like winning 70 games or anything because of the health of our 4 and our 5 right now. But yeah, it could be too many cooks in the kitchen just because, yeah, a lot of these guys do demand the ball and have historically. But hopefully, just because of like the brevity of like, yeah, this is the greatest player of all time coming and he wants to win a championship, you got to sort of adjust like your style, like, yeah, style and like also like your demand for the ball, which is something very hard to sort of buy into in this league where like for a while, it was just, we were signing hoopers, like we're signing Anthony Simons, who I cannot trust off ball in the year of our Lord 2026.
No.
Jaylen Brown is like similarly, but he's like obviously a much more way higher tier of a player. But yeah, I'm just hoping for some. I don't want to say sacrifices because like it is ultimately towards winning, but yeah, I think they should be buying into it because you have a I would say recognized as a good coach in the league. We have our gripes about him, but he has a championship, and LeBron didn't come here being like, well, I'll. It's not like him and David Blatt being okay. Well, actually, it's my team. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
he made this is the biggest decision in the like since his last one. So he has to take that into account. Like we're not gonna, you know, hire we're not going to steal Ty Lue from him or get like JJ
I would
Redick.
take that.
I would take Ty Lue, but this did take like 3 weeks, and you're
Yeah.
not ignoring and also the organization. I think what Ganzi's done and his history with Cleveland was also part of it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do, I do agree with LeBron saying it's like it might have been the best situation for him in the grand, like among those suitors that we've uh, discussed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, my argument throughout this process had pretty consistently been that I thought Cleveland was the best fit, and I would still defend it in that I still think Cleveland had the best team, and I think still in a playoff series would be a threat to the Philadelphia 76ers as constructed, right? There's just too much talent on that team on both ends of the floor to be able to make it happen. And I know everybody, hems and haws about the James Harden fit, and I understand that. But I think given the fluidity we saw from LeBron a season ago, I have no question that he would be able to make things work in that situation, right? the biggest thing will continue to be the health of Joel Embiid as we hammer into our heads and skulls every single year. And I think the big question starts to become, right, does this aid you in being able to survive without him? And the obvious answer would be yes, right? Because it adds another creator, it adds another scorer. Um, but to what extent, that's going to be a big deal, right? Are we going to see, like we saw tested with the Lakers at points this season, LeBron James play the five sometimes, and just experiment and have kind of this stretch five, all knowing, small lineup? Could we see a little bit of Dean Wade out there and
Sure.
kind of have full on spacing? Could this just be like this super fast, energetic team, sans Joel Embiid, that they make work? And I think that rendition of the team is something that's incredibly interesting to me, and something that I think, especially as not just throughout the regular season, but as you approach the postseason, where we think about that Celtics series and that Knicks series, and you're playing within 2 days of each other between that game 7 and that game 1, and we all know they should have rested Joel Embiid. I
Yeah.
promise you, if LeBron James is playing in that game 1 against the New York Knicks, they have a much better shot than they did when they lost by 40 with Joel
Mhm.
Embiid on the floor limping around, even if Joel Embiid doesn't play. So it's a big deal just in that sense, and it promises to potentially answer a question that's been a question for the entirety of this Sixers run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, we will leave you with who are we firing, but I don't know who the fuck we can fire after this.
Um,
There's too much
I think
happiness.
I think we're just good. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody's allowed to keep their job.
Yep. Everybody.
It's
Yep.
it's a,
Yep.
it's a bad economy right now.
Yep.
We don't want people running around on trying to find new stuff to do.
Yep. Thank you,
All right.
LeBron. We'll break
Thank you,
out the.
LeBron.
All right.